Small cap stocks have recently outperformed larger companies, partly due to expectations around tariffs and rate cuts following the November 2024 election. While tariffs could benefit domestically focused businesses, historical data suggests that small caps tend to outperform large caps over longer periods, regardless of short-term political factors. Small caps have been undervalued since 2015, and a significant valuation gap like the one seen in November 2024 often leads to strong performance in the following years. Historically, small cap stocks have outperformed large caps over 10-year periods, driven by factors like higher returns relative to their volatility. The case for investing in small caps is based on long-term trends rather than short-term market movements. President-elect Donald Trump is drafting an executive order to limit birthright citizenship, aiming to deny automatic citizenship to children born in the United States unless at least one parent is a citizen or legal permanent resident. This move is expected to face immediate legal challenges, as many constitutional scholars argue that changing birthright citizenship requires a constitutional amendment. Trump's plan also targets birth tourism by proposing stricter tourist visa requirements. Critics, including civil rights groups, emphasize that such an action would contradict the Supreme Court's 1898 decision affirming birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment. Supporters see the executive order as a means to provoke a Supreme Court showdown over the issue. Young men are increasingly investing in risky assets like cryptocurrency, meme stocks, and sports betting, seeking financial success amid feelings of economic alienation. While these investments have yielded significant gains recently, experts caution about potential losses. For example, a portfolio of Bitcoin, gold, GameStop, and DraftKings stocks outperformed traditional portfolios in 2024. Men's investment choices are influenced by online communities and societal pressures around masculinity, while young men disproportionately drawn to speculative markets compared to women. Platforms like YouTube, Reddit, and Discord expose users to investing and gambling advice, creating a mix of success stories and cautionary tales as seen in the rise and fall of crypto investments. The pandemic-era economy, marked by stimulus checks and reduced expenses, fueled this trend, with many seeing risky investing as a path to overcome perceived systematic barriers and achieve traditional financial goals. NATO, under new Secretary General Mark Rutte, is shifting its focus to counter hybrid warfare threats, including cyber attacks, sabotage, and energy security, primarily from Russia and China. The alliance is enhancing intelligence sharing, conducting joint exercises, and developing response plans for unconventional attacks to bolster deterrence and resilience. Russia's hybrid warfare, such as undersea infrastructure sabotage and hacking, has intensified since the invasion of Ukraine, while China amplifies disinformation and engages in its own sabotage efforts. NATO is establishing specialized centers such as the Maritime Center for Security of Critical Undersea Infrastructure and a Cyber Defense Center to coordinate responses and share best practices. The alliance aims to strengthen collective defenses and build a unified picture of threats to protect critical assets and deter adversarial actions. Technology under CEO Matt Murphy has seen its market value rise above $100 billion, briefly surpassing Intel's, driven by its explosive growth in data center and AI chip businesses. The company's data center revenue nearly doubled year over year, with AI-related custom chip partnerships, including a multi-year deal with Amazon, expected to fuel significant future growth. Analysts project Marvell could capture a third of the burgeoning $30 to $50 billion custom AI chip market by 2030, helping drive its revenue to over $8 billion by fiscal 2026. Despite its high valuation and exposure to potential downturns in AI investments, Murphy remains confident in Marvell's ability to navigate the cyclical chip market. He has publicly denied interest in leaving for Intel, reinforcing his commitment to Marvell's long-term ambitions. Pat Gelsinger, who returned to Intel as CEO in 2021, faced the daunting task of reviving the company, which had fallen behind rivals like NVIDIA and TSMC in chip-making technology. His ambitious IDM 2.0 strategy focused on increasing Intel's manufacturing capacity, aiming to become a major player in contract chip production. Despite significant investments and efforts, including promoting the 2022 CHIPS Act, Intel struggled to compete in the AI boom and suffered a $16.6 billion loss in 2023. The company's stock dropped over 60% during Gelsinger's tenure, and his vision ultimately failed to restore Intel's dominance. Gelsinger resigned in December 2024, leaving Intel at a crossroads, potentially facing a split between its manufacturing and design divisions. Chatbot Arena, created by UC Berkeley students Anastasis Angelopoulos and Wei Ling Qiang, has become a widely followed platform for ranking AI systems through user feedback. It allows users to ask questions and rate answers from different AI models, which are then ranked on a leaderboard. The site has attracted major tech companies like OpenAI, Google, and Meta, who compete for top positions. Unlike traditional academic benchmarks, Chatbot Arena's rankings are based on subjective human preferences, making it more dynamic and reflective of user experience. With over 170 AI models ranked, the platform has become a valuable data source for developers and a key tool for tracking AI advancements globally. Robinhood, originally known for its mobile-focused trading platform, is shifting its strategy to attract more serious retail traders by developing a state-of-the-art desktop platform, Legend. The company aims to become the leading platform for active traders who are more likely to engage in high-frequency trading, margin borrowing, and subscription services like Robinhood Gold. This move comes as traditional revenue sources like interest from cash deposits and commissions are under pressure. Robinhood sees success with active trader as key to funding future products for a broader audience. The company is also expanding its offerings such as futures and index options trading to appeal to this growing segment. Research on market timing behavior shows that individual investors have been making more detrimental trading decisions since the COVID-19 pandemic. Between 2020 and 2024, investors in actively managed funds experienced a nearly doubled average return gap, costing them over 1% annually in portfolio value compared to 0.53% per year before COVID. This poor market timing was especially pronounced in U.S. small-cap funds, where investors lost an additional 0.76% of return. While index fund investors also saw an increase in return gaps, the effect was less significant. The research highlights that overall, most investors would benefit more from staying invested rather than attempting to time the market. A federal appeals court upheld the U.S. government's authority to ban TikTok over national security concerns, citing the potential influence of the Chinese government on the app's parent company, ByteDance. The court rejected TikTok's First Amendment claims, emphasizing the government's right to protect the U.S. interests from foreign threats. The decision is based on fears that TikTok could be used for surveillance and content manipulation by China. TikTok plans to appeal to the Supreme Court, but the company faces a January 2024 deadline for the ban's implementation. The case highlights the ongoing geopolitical struggle over control of user data and internet platforms. Donald Trump has argued that tariffs are a more flexible and less harmful alternative to sanctions for achieving U.S. foreign policy goals. He believes sanctions undermine the dollar's global dominance, a status he sees as crucial to U.S. economic power. Trump has threatened tariffs on BRICS nations if they attempt to create an alternative to the dollar, despite such efforts still being in early stages. He views tariffs as a tool that can be calibrated and used against both adversaries and allies, unlike sanctions, which tend to be all or nothing. However, tariffs carry their own risks, such as disrupting trade and inviting retaliation, while maintaining the dollar's reserve status requires the U.S. to run a trade deficit. The article highlights Democratic frustration as President Joe Biden adopts a low-profile approach during the transition to a Donald Trump presidency. Critics within the party argue that Biden's silence and absence from key events have allowed Trump to dominate the political narrative, shaping public opinion and enacting early policies unchallenged. Biden's decisions such as pardoning his son Hunter and focusing on international trips have fueled concerns about missed opportunities to counter Trump's agenda and nominees. Comparisons are drawn to President Obama's proactive engagement during Trump's first transition, with calls for Biden to be more vocal and strategic. Democrats are now grappling with messaging challenges and the need for unity ahead of the 2026 midterms. China has launched an antitrust investigation into NVIDIA, alleging potential violations of conditions tied to its 2020 acquisition of Mellanox Technologies amid escalating U.S.-China tensions over semiconductor trade. The probe, announced shortly after the U.S. imposed stricter export controls on advanced chips to China, appears to be a retaliatory move highlighting Beijing's resistance to U.S. sanctions. NVIDIA's business in China, a significant market accounting for 12% of its global revenue, has already been impacted by restrictions on selling advanced AI chips. Industry analysts suggest the investigation may signal China's willingness to use regulatory tools to counter U.S. sanctions, despite the risk of exacerbating economic decoupling. This development reflects the strategic importance of semiconductors in the geopolitical competition between the two nations, with implications for global trade and technology dynamics. Jensen Huang, the founder and CEO of NVIDIA, relies on Top 5 Things, T5T, emails from employees at all levels to stay connected to the pulse of his company, bypassing bureaucratic filters. These concise updates provide him with unvarnished insights, helping him detect weak signals and spot emerging opportunities, such as early trends in AI. Huang's unique leadership style includes working from conference rooms, constant brainstorming at whiteboards, and a relentless work ethic that prioritizes clarity and speed. His T5T practice has become a cornerstone of NVIDIA's culture, enabling innovation and adaptability, which have contributed to the company's trillion-dollar success. Despite his involvement, Huang refrains from sending T5T emails himself to avoid influencing employees' independent thinking. Bitcoin's price recently surpassed $100,000, driven by its hard-coded supply cap of 21 million coins, fueling investor enthusiasm about its scarcity. With around 19.8 million Bitcoins already mined, the process will slow and halt by 2140, reinforcing the token's limited availability. Low Bitcoins and dormant holdings such as the nearly 1 million coins associated with Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto further reduce the circulating supply. Institutional investors, companies, and governments, including the US, have increasingly amassed Bitcoin, locking up a significant portion of its supply and bolstering its value. President-elect Donald Trump has proposed creating a strategic national Bitcoin stockpile, which has excited crypto investors about future demand. President-elect Donald Trump's nominees, including Mehmet Oz, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Dr. Janet Nashwaite, have ties to the supplement industry promoting or selling products sparking concerns about conflicts of interest. The supplement industry, lightly regulated and valued at over $60 billion annually, is optimistic about the administration's stance and seeks policy changes, such as expanded coverage under federal health programs and relaxed FDA rules. Critics argue these ties reflect a disregard for conventional science, as most supplements lack rigorous testing and oversight, raising public health concerns. Kennedy, nominated by Health and Human Services, has criticized mainstream medicine and the FDA, aligning with the industry's push for fewer restrictions. Ethical questions arise as nominees promote products, with consumer advocates warning about potential bias and risks to public trust in healthy policy. Matthew Tootle, manager of the T-Rex 2X Long MSTR Daily Target ETF, MSTU, has attracted billions by offering leveraged exposure to MicroStrategy, a volatile company heavily tied to Bitcoin. Initially relying on total return swaps to double daily returns of MicroStrategy stock, the fund's rapid growth exceeded the swaps available from trading partners, forcing a shift to using options, which introduces new risks. This strategy change has led to significant tracking errors, with MSTU often failing to achieve its stated goal of doubling MicroStrategy's daily returns. Critics warn of the fund's high risk, citing the challenges of managing leverage with options in volatile market. Tootle defends the fund's performance and strategy adjustments, emphasizing its appeal to self-directed, thrill-seeking investors. President-elect Donald Trump has encouraged Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to consider appointing Lara Trump to the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Marco Rubio, who is set to become Secretary of State. DeSantis is weighing several candidates, including Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody, but Lara Trump's candidacy could help mend his relationship with Trump after their rivalry in the 2024 GOP presidential primary. Lara Trump, who recently resigned as co-chair of Republican National Committee, has expressed serious interest in the position and has gained support from figures like Elon Musk and Florida Senator Rick Scott. The appointment, if made, would be temporary until a special election in 2026. Concerns have been raised about potential optics of DeSantis appoints Lara Trump while being considered for defense secretary in Trump's administration. David Sachs, a tech investor and conservative provocateur, has been appointed by Donald Trump as the AI and crypto czar, replacing him at the center of key policy developments. Known for his ties to Silicon Valley and investments in companies like Uber and xAI, his new role may present conflicts of interest. A controversial figure, Sachs has been vocal about conservative causes, including his criticism of the Biden administration's policies. His career spans founding and leading successful startups such as PayPal and Yammer, alongside significant venture investments. Sachs also co-hosts the All In podcast, which has grown popular for its candid discussions on politics and technology. Reddit has become a valuable partner for AI companies by licensing its vast repository of user-generated content, which is ideal for training conversational AI models. This shift, starting in mid-2023, has significantly boosted Reddit's revenues, particularly through deals with companies like OpenAI and Google. The platform's organized content and pseudonymous user interactions make it uniquely suited for AI data needs, setting it apart from other social media platforms. Despite the success, Reddit's licensing arrangements' long-term financial impact remains uncertain, with competitors taking different approaches to AI. Reddit's popularity and diverse user base continue to make it a crucial player in the growing AI ecosystem. Netflix's unlimited parental leave policy, introduced nearly a decade ago as part of its freedom and responsibility ethos, has been significantly scaled back due to sustainability concerns. The initial policy, intended to provide employees with flexibility, saw higher than expected usage, prompting Netflix to revise its stance and discourage extended leaves. This cultural shift is emblematic of broader changes at the company, which now emphasizes profitability and tighter management practices, leading to employee unease about losing the unique values that once defined Netflix's workplace. Netflix has also modified its culture memo and operational practices, including salary caps and reduced perks, aligning with its evolving business priorities. While these changes have supported financial recovery, concerns remain about their impact on employee trust and the company's ability to retain talent. The article highlights the concept of long thinking in AI as a significant advancement in artificial intelligence. This next generation of AI models focuses on taking more time to reason, aiming to improve reliability and tackle increasingly complex problems. NVIDIA and OpenAI are at the forefront of this shift, with their technology designed to deliberate longer on tasks, mimicking slower, more effortful human reasoning. Applications of long-thinking AI include deeper scientific insights and more effective problem-solving, which are expected to enhance fields such as research, customer service, and business processes. This evolution also drives demand for advanced computing infrastructure, reinforcing its economic importance. Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea are forming a cohesive alliance sharing military resources and technology, challenging the democratic world order and escalating global conflicts. The world's conflicts, including Ukraine war, Middle East crisis, and East Asian tensions, are increasingly linked, potentially signaling the onset of a global confrontation akin to a new world war. The autocracy's unity and military advancements are outpacing the fragmented response of democratic nations, exacerbating Western industrial and strategic weaknesses. While global powers avoid direct confrontation, proxy wars and hybrid threats such as cyber attacks and sabotage are expanding, destabilizing democracies and intensifying the autocracy's aggression. U.S. and allied defense capabilities and industrial output lag behind the Axis coordinated efforts, demanding radical changes to prepare for heightened threats, including nuclear risks and advanced military technology sharing. Fearing price hikes from potential tariffs under President-elect Donald Trump, Americans are stockpiling goods like coffee, olive oil, and computer parts and upgrading big-ticket items such as cars and appliances. Retailers and businesses are also preparing for tariff-related price increases by front-loading imports and urging consumers to buy now. Economists warn that this rush to purchase could drive inflation higher, exacerbating price increases due to perceived scarcity and retailers' expectations. Tariffs on imports, including a proposed 25% to 100% levy on goods from certain countries, have already prompted some shoppers to spend thousands on durable goods, electronics, and household essentials. While some consumers hope their preemptive buying pays off, economists could caution that the full impact of tariffs depend on their scope and duration. Michael Dell has transformed his company from a PC maker into a leading provider of AI supercomputing infrastructure, focusing on servers, storage arrays, and data center solutions rather than personal computers. Leveraging bold moves like taking Dell private and acquiring EMC for $67 billion, he positioned the company to capitalize on the surging demand for AI-related technology, including providing hardware for Elon Musk's AI supercomputer Colossus. Dell's infrastructure business has experienced rapid growth, driven by the explosion of data generation and the increasing demand for AI training systems. Despite the boom, Dell acknowledges potential risks as the widespread adoption of AI might not meet lofty expectations, posing challenges for sustainability. Nonetheless, he remains optimistic about AI's transformative potential, predicting continued growth while recognizing inevitable excesses and missteps in the industry. Meta is urging California's Attorney General to block OpenAI's planned transition to a for-profit entity, arguing it sets a troubling precedent that unfairly benefits startups leveraging nonprofit advantages before becoming profitable. Meta's move aligns with Elon Musk, who has filed legal complaints against OpenAI, accusing it of abandoning its nonprofit mission and colluding with Microsoft to dominate AI development. OpenAI countered Musk's claims, publishing documents showing he initially supported a for-profit structure but left after failing to gain majority control. OpenAI's recent $6.6 billion funding round, which values the company at $157 billion, hinges on its shift to for-profit status, sparking further debate. The dispute underscores intense rivalries in the AI industry, with Meta, OpenAI, Musk's xAI, and Microsoft battling for dominance amid allegations and legal challenges. Following his re-election, President-elect Donald Trump has seen a reversal of fortunes with corporate America as CEOs from major companies like Meta, Amazon, and JP Morgan rush to curry favor with him, hoping to shape policy and avoid his ire. High-profile executives, including Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, have begun making personal overtures, attending dinners, and contributing millions to Trump's inaugural fund despite prior tensions, such as Trump's criticisms of Bezos' Washington Post and Facebook's suspension of his account after January 6, 2021. Trump has rewarded loyal financiers with key cabinet positions and drawn corporate leaders to gatherings like the New York Stock Exchange event, signaling a return to influence for his pro-business allies. CEOs and business leaders are emphasizing shared goals such as tax cuts and deregulation in hopes of benefiting from Trump's second-term agenda. Meanwhile, figures like Elon Musk and Sundar Pichai are navigating their relationship with Trump, while others like Sam Altman of OpenAI scramble to repair strained ties with the incoming administration.